Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy No Deflection, and today we will be running through DOC, or Depths of Corruption. So, just to start off here, the first boss fight, I just want to let everyone know that you can, in fact, die in this fight, repire, and jump right back into the fight. There's no need to use scrolls here, no need to use Starseed unless you want to pop up real quick. You can just pyre up, come back into the fight, no problems. Just take your time jumping back in, obviously, because your health will be low. You'll need to pot up or something. So the first guy we have here is going to be the Revived Guard Captain. As you can see, there are a couple of Beybladers below him, around him. Just try not to aggro him. I think you can only aggro him by attacking him. So just take out these four guys. Be wary that, obviously, as them being Beybladers, they can kill you really quick. Just avoid their spin attacks if possible. Beat their little damage checks, and you'll be fine. So with the Revived Guard Captain, we have 4 crystals around him. We have Valor, Protection, Revenge, and Growth. Valor gives him new attacks. Protection gives him defense. Revenge gives him basically revenge. When you attack him, the attacks that hit him knock back to you. And then you have Growth, which is healing. So of these 4, the 2 you really want to focus on are going to be Protection and Revenge. So Protection, as you can see here, is the first one we're going for. In order to get him to attack the crystal that you want, you need to aggro him toward that crystal. Now, he will only go and try to absorb the crystals at certain percentages, which will be 80, 60, 40, and 20. So your objective is to get him over to the crystal at the latest when he's around 86, for instance, 85. Once he gets to like 82, 81%, he'll instantly start going for that crystal. Just be wary of that. If you're, in the middle and you're attacking him, and you're like, oh, he's at 82, we got to get over there. He's probably already focused on a different crystal. Just good luck on that one. Now, be wary, though, even if he's going for the crystal that you want, you aggroed him toward it, he's, right near it, and you think he's going to take it, he could still just change his mind and go to whatever crystal he wants. Just be wary of that. So right here, we thought he was going to go for the crystal after he pops these bubbles. Oddly enough, he's actually going to come in for a couple more attacks. I believe he's at 82%-ish, 81%. Once he pops a second bubble, that's when he's going to go try to absorb the crystal, as you'll see. He'll do his attack, then he'll say something, whatever it is. He'll throw up some more bubbles on the ground, and this is when you want to DPS the crystal that he's going to be trying to absorb. The shield will drop down, and your objective is to break the shield before he absorbs it. You'll know he doesn't absorb it when something pops up below him, such as, oh no, how dare you, you took my crystal, whatever it is. You pissed him off, and he's going to, do that. Exactly what you saw there. He got upset. As far as his attacks are concerned, I would say none of them are really that strong. They only become strong if he gets Valor and or Revenge. Those are the 2 attacks you need to avoid. Obviously, and if he goes Berserk, then he'll insta-kill you with any attack he hits you with. So just be wary of that. So obviously, most groups, and even though I'm pugging this completely, most groups will go to Protection first. I'm not sure if somebody in a YouTube video said Protection is the best. In my opinion, the first one you should always go for is Revenge. Revenge is, that will make your fight so much harder. Basically, like I said, once he gets Revenge, he'll pop a red shield up above actually around his whole body. And any attack you do to him when it's red will instantly come back to you. So if you're in the middle of an Earthbreaker, or, your power shot for the Archer, or the Meteor from the Mage, and it hits him when that shield's up, it instantly will kill you. So just be wary of that. Even normal attacks will do a lot of damage on you. If I'm doing 3,000 damage with my regular attack, that's going to come back and hit me when he has the Revenge shield up. So right here, we have him around the Revenge crystal. And he's like, you know what? I don't care about Revenge. I'm going to go for Growth instead, as you'll see here. He's going to just be like, screw you guys. I'm going to go take this one instead. Obviously, this took us by surprise. We were not prepared for this, and he got this crystal. In the end, he ends up actually getting 3 out of the 4 crystals. And we still beat him. So it just goes to show you that you can still beat him even if he gets the crystals. I believe it's a trial if you kill all 4 crystals as well as let him get all 4 crystals. I think there's 2 trials for that. Obviously, if he gets all 4, he basically becomes a god. And if you destroy all 4, then he's basically a puppy that you can just, stomp on if you're that kind of person. Just be wary of that. So really, like I said, his attacks aren't that crazy. Avoid them if you can. He only has 1 stun where he picks out 1 person and just kicks you. I wouldn't say it does a crazy amount of damage. Your objective really is just to knock out these crystals when he goes for them. My suggestion is alternate your bigger attacks. If you have 2 Zerkers and 2 Mages, for instance, you obviously want to alternate, like have 1 Zerker and 1 Mage take the first crystal, and then just in case their Rage or their power isn't back yet, you want to save those stronger attacks for the next crystal. If you're with a group, it's much easier to say, hey, let me take them on for a little bit by myself to gain your Rage or your strength back, whatever it takes. And that's pretty much the Revive Guard captain. Just note that, because I think I go pretty quickly, once we beat this guy, that gate, when you're running out of that gate, there is an enemy that walks back and forth. He's basically a sentry when you're walking through that gate. When he walks away from you, you can instantly go to the left, up the little rocks on the hill there, and avoid all those mobs in that area. We're going to run by it really quick, so I just want to mention that right now. I'll bring it up again once we go through that gate. But just be wary, as long as he's walking away from you guys, you can just run right to the left, up the rocks, and you avoid all those mobs altogether. It's the best way to do that. It saves you a little bit of time. So I just resurrected there with Star Siege just because I've got seeds to burn, and it doesn't really matter. I didn't want to go back to the pyre. And besides, who doesn't want to have 100% health? So I'll let this fight finish out, and then we'll go on to our next boss. And there you have it. That is the Revive Guard Captain with only breaking 1 crystal. So here's a little area I'm talking about. If you run right to the left here and avoid that sentry walking back and forth, you will not aggro any of these mobs. So just be wary of that. If he's walking away from you and he's a good distance, you can just run up the left side here and not aggro anyone. Note that the Crusader in here actually aggroed them all and brought them all into our next boss fight, which was great. So you don't want to be that person. So the next boss we have here, so you have Rosia there in the light, and she's resurrecting right now. Twisted Ivsella, that's what we call her, or actually we call her Twisted T, because she's basically Twisted T. Basically, the gist of this fight is you want to keep her in the light. The light keeps her from gaining defense stacks. The defense stacks, yes, you can do damage to her when she has them on her. I would say if she gets upwards of 10, 12 stacks, that's too many, get her back into the light. When she's in the light, she'll take a lot more damage. If you're running with a bunch of ranged characters, it's much easier to keep damaging her while she's in the light. If you're melee classes, and let's say you have a full group of 5 melees, it's going to be a tough fight for sure. I would say 2 to 3 melees in this fight is fine. You need at least 2 ranged classes for this, I would say, just to make your lives a little easier. So just a heads up with this. So when she walks in, so you can see she had that one defense stack when she's walking through the darkness. Now she's technically in the light here, so we're doing maximum damage technically to her right now. As you can see, all the mobs came in, and it's always a blast seeing these blue guys pop in here. We take them out fairly quickly, but it is a pain in the butt to see them in here. So just try not to be that person to aggro those guys. It just makes this fight a little harder. So now, one way to get her into the light when you're fighting her, there might be a purple insignia that pops up above your head. This means that she's technically aggroed to you, which gives you the ability to pull her into the light. She doesn't always follow that purple insignia. Sometimes she picks out a certain person and she's like, you know what, I want you instead. So right here, it's on top of me. She's coming to me, which is perfect. She's in the light. Her defensive stacks are going down, and this is when you can do some maximum damage on her, drop a meteor on her, whatever you want. And it's what you want, basically. You want to keep her in the light. Now, what she'll do eventually is she'll do a stun, which will stun you twice with these purple vines that come up. When the purple vines come up, she's going to, after those 2 purple vines, she's going to be doing an AoE attack, which you're going to see here. She's going to shove her vines into the floor, and she's going to basically attack the ground. So here's the stun. It's 1 gone, and then a second one always gets you no matter what you do. That's 2. And then she'll shove her vines into the ground, doing an AoE attack that starts on the outside and works its way in. In my opinion, there's no need to avoid this AoE attack. It doesn't do that much damage. My suggestion is just keep DPSing her if you can. Especially if she's in the light, don't worry about that AoE attack. If she's Berserk, obviously it will kill you 1 shot, but you don't need to worry about it. So I just ran through the spikes there. As you can see, they did about 40% damage to me, 40% of my health when I walked through them. Avoid those spikes. Melees, it's going to be a lot harder to avoid them. Range classes will be able to, walk around them as needed. What she will also do is she'll pop these flowers that you see. Now, most groups, if coordinated correctly, will probably stun this flower with either a shield jump or a Zerk jump like I just did there, which stuns the flower, and then you can just DPS them out. The flower in itself isn't a crazy strong mob, but when he does that spit attack, if you're in the range of that, it will kill you very quickly. Most teams would DPS it first. Once it pops, they probably didn't even know it was there, and I'm not going to call that out in mid-fight when I don't have when they're not on my party chat. So you want to DPS that guy down as fast as possible. If the flower pops up a ways away from you guys, by no means do you need to go attack it if you don't want to. I don't think it moves very far, so I wouldn't worry about it too much if it's like a distance away from you. But if it's anywhere near the light, kill it, because it's going to be a pain in the ass for you guys. Just knock it out quickly. You know, it won't take you long. So right here we have her in the light. You know, we've got the defense downs going. We're dropping as much attack on her as possible. She's doing her 2 stuns again, which obviously gets me every single time. And then she'll do her AoE attack from the outside coming in. And like I said, with these, I would not avoid this. There's no need to. The guys in this decided to, a couple of them, like run away. Maybe if you're a mage or a priest and you don't have a lot of defense, maybe, but I don't see it doing that much damage. It only did 1,000 damage on me. I can't see it doing more than 2,500 damage on the priest or the mage. So that's basically Twisted Tea in a nutshell. Just keep her in the light, kill the flower when it pops, avoid the spikes, and that's really it. So I'll let this finish out, and obviously it being a pug and us not coordinating very well together, it just goes to show you that pugging is not the best way to run these dungeons. It makes them longer. It can be a little frustrating, especially if you have new people. Just be wary of that. So I'll let this finish out. And that is Twisted Tea down for the count. So, takeaways from here: keep her in the light, kill the flower, try to avoid the spikes if possible, and that's really it. When you come down here, you're going to have 3 more Beybladers. Take them out real quick. They're not too bad. Our last boss, and the most fun one out of the whole dungeon, is going to be our favorite, Rosia, you know, however you want to say it. She's basically a divine lady wrapped in hair. Her hair is literally her armor around her body. If you pay attention to the video, it's pretty awesome and also pretty interesting and weird. If you're into that kind of thing, by all means, to each their own. But personally, I'm not into that kind of thing, so just throwing that out there. So Rosia, the big things of her are, well, actually, let's wait till we get into the fight to actually show it. To begin with, you can actually stay in this corner where the Zerks are hanging out, and you can have one person go in and actually aggro her. And when that person aggroes her, you avoid being in that video that she pops up. When that video pops up and the 4 other people in that corner are just hanging out, you can actually run in there and do some DPS before she comes out of the video. I haven't seen anybody do more than 2 to 3% on her. I've seen mages drop meteors on her, and Zerkers do Earthbreaker. I haven't seen her lose more than 3%. It's not a huge deal if you do it. If you want to see the video, run in. If you don't, you know, stay back in this corner and then avoid it and get some extra DPS out of her. As you can see here, we're waiting for one of the guys to go aggro her. I don't know if they know what's going on. Eventually, we tell them to go in. So once the video starts, she'll basically go invisible, but you can just run in there, and like I'm doing here, I'm just going to jump in on top of her head and still do damage. So while she's in this state, you can do some damage to her, get your rage back, take her down 1 to 2%, you know, whatever you can possibly do, it all helps. So Rosia, everyone will call her name. I'm going to call her Rosia. I like that name. So what she'll do for attacks-wise is she will have a stun, which will stun you, and she'll pop a little insignia above your head. The first one she does it to everyone in the group. Not a big deal. Just button mash or whatever it is and get out of there. The second one she does, where she'll pop an insignia only over one person. When that insignia is over you, you need to call it out and let your teammates know that you have it. So here's the first one. Button mash, don't worry about it. That attack doesn't do that much damage. The second one, though, she has it right now over one person. This is an insta-kill beam. If you happen to jump in front of somebody, it will kill them as well, like this person did here. It killed them and the person that happened to be in front of them when they dodge rolled. What you want to do is when you're button mashing, button mash and dodge roll to the right or left, not forward or backward. You can usually avoid that attack. If you don't, it's not a hard pickup, obviously. So here she's doing linear meteor attacks. She's just going to shoot out in a line, easy to avoid. You know, just avoid them. Don't get hit by them. So Rosia will eventually do this. She'll blast you all backwards. She'll say some words, and then she'll put a prompt above your head to button mash. You can see there. Now what she'll start doing is she'll start dropping meteors on your head. Very easy to dodge. Like you can see here, I'm not running around. I'm not going crazy. I'm just walking. Very similar later on, she'll eventually drop bombs on everyone. When they drop the bombs, you want to slowly walk around. That way these bombs don't spread everywhere. Walk around slowly. So here's her biggest attack. She'll keep one person outside the Spire Arena and the rest of the team inside the Spire Arena. When you're outside of the Spire Arena and you're button mashing those buttons, you want to go as far away from her as possible, and then once she shoots her beam, just run away from it. That's an insta-kill beam. When you run farther away from that arena, eventually the backside of it will drop away. That's when you notify your teammates that the backside is gone, they can now get out. If you don't notify them, or if you stay up here attacking her when she's doing her beam, that backside will never drop out, and your whole team will wipe, basically. You'll be the only one left alive, and it might be a wipe for you guys. I don't know if they can start starseed up or whatever, but you want to back away from her when it's you, as far away as you can, and the backside will eventually open up. That's your objective. If you're inside the Spire Arena, you want to be as close to her as possible. When the whole team is close to her, that is what allows the back to drop off. So your whole team, if you're in the Spire Arena yourself, if all 4 of you are in there, and it might not get all 4 of you, maybe it'll only get 2 or 3 of you, but when you're all in there, you want to be up as close to her as possible. Now these are the bombs I was talking about. You can slowly walk around and drop these on the ground, or you can do what I'm doing. I'm DPSing through it with a heal ring on. If you have a heal ring, you can definitely do this. Any class can do this. What she'll do is eventually she'll knock everyone down, and she'll drop shields on the ground. These shields can take up to 6 to 7 to 8 hits, roughly. As you can see here, she's going to knock us all down. You grab that shield, and then you can get rid of these bombs with that shield. That's what you should be doing, at least. Don't be greedy and just take the shield and just start attacking her, okay? Get rid of some bombs first if you can. So right here, I'm actually reviving this guy with a shield on. When that thing pops, it won't even hurt me because I have the shield on still. So that's a good way to use the shield as well. I even still have it up right there. So she'll do that a couple times. Same thing with the Spire Arena. She'll do that 1 to 2 times, maybe 3 times. Here, again, she's doing the meteors from the sky. Again, just button mash your way out of this. And just walk around. You don't need to run around. You could also be on the edge of the arena and not, have to avoid this at all. But I mean, really, you could just stand right up against her and you'd be fine, in my opinion. So here we go again, just DPSing her. So she cornered me again. So she's going to put everyone else in the Spire Arena. And then I'll be on the outside. So I'm going to button mash these buttons out. And I'm going to back away as far as possible. Note that mage actually got missed. That happens sometimes. It is what it is. So I'm backing away as far as I can. The back already dropped off, so the teammates can get out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to run around. Just try not to get too close to the Spire Arena. You want to be, like, if you can, 90 degrees away from it, basically, if you can. That's the best. And then you're going to run around to the other side and just start doing your damage attacks. Earthbreaker, Meteor, Sniper Shot, pop the circle for the Priest, whatever you guys got to do. And that's basically Rosia in a nutshell. She's not that bad as long as you're coordinating with your team. Take your time. If you need to wipe, it's not that bad. So that's Depths of Corruption. I hope you guys appreciated the run-through. If this helped you in any way, please leave a like. Subscribe if you want some more content. If you have any suggestions of things you might want, shoot me a message. I'd be more than happy to make some more videos. And once again, guys, I appreciate, all the views. It really does help. Guys, have a good one, and thanks again.